Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Filmspiration. Inspiration for everyone through the lens of a filmmaker. My name is writer-director Edgar Ibarra. Let's jump right into this week's more than obvious topic. Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Now, I know there's tons of videos out there that could talk to you about the actual review of this film in particular, but that's not really what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk a little bit more about Star Wars as a whole and the concept of what it is that we love about Star Wars, what it is that you like about Star Wars. Now, the reason why I ask this is because it has been such a major cultural phenomenon since Episode 4, A New Hope, came out. Point is, it's been since the late 70s, a long-running story, and yet as a global culture, not even just here in the United States, but as a global culture, we've had an infatuation with this story. This one story that's been diced and sliced into many little pieces, but overall is one story connected through time, through the many multiple layers. Question is, why do we like Star Wars? Why do you like Star Wars? Here's what I got to say behind Star Wars, and there will be people that agree with me, and there will be people that disagree with me. If you disagree with me, go ahead and share this video. And if you agree with me, go ahead and share this video. I think it's a multiple set number of things that people love about Star Wars. First and foremost, in my opinion, and most importantly for myself personally, is the story. Without story, you don't have anything else. And that goes for any movies, including Star Wars. And really, when you take a look at Star Wars, you have origins of the hero's journey, Luke Skywalker in the first 3 films or not. Details of what is the hero's journey that go back to the days of when the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans used to tell stories of heroes in their mythological stories. You also have the element of course, you've got love, Princess Leia, Han Solo. You've got so many layers within the story, and we're just talking about story itself. Another aspect that I really like about the story is the concept of the Force. The Force, a metaphor, in my opinion, for God, or if you want to call it the universe, or other people would go, I've heard somebody call it the law of attraction, that it's another way of just basically describing what the law of attraction is. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I respect that also. The Force is just a thing that many people in many different cultures are going to connect to. The reason why is because every single culture has their version of God, whatever it may be, or multiple gods, and it's the connecting to the concept of spirituality and connecting to the concept that you can connect to this one bigger force, this one bigger being. I really, as a spiritual person myself, I really dig that. I won't advocate for one religion or another, but I think maybe that's why it's good that it's called the Force overall, because it's just this overall, very specific, but very overall greater concept of what God is, in my opinion. Of course, there are the visual effects. Groundbreaking in their days, in the late 70s, the early 80s, and the early 80s again. Even in, well, late 90s, 1999, what was it, episode 1, I believe it was. That's right, I can't think, it's so freaking late. Yeah, so Jar Jar Binks, everyone hated Jar Jar Binks, and I've talked to a lot of people who are major Star Wars fans, and they told me Jar Jar Binks and the visuals, and George Lucas being lost on those visuals, is one of the reasons why, or lost in the visuals, is one of the reasons why the story just wasn't there the way it was in parts 3 or episodes 4, 5, and 6. And I can kind of see that because the majority of the first episode 1, 2, and 3, the first 3 were shot on green screen, and the story was just not all that compelling, and there were some moments that were even questionable, like in Episode 3 when Anakin Skywalker finally becomes Luke. This is one of my personal pet peeves, or my personally, for me, one of the most annoying moments, when he realizes how bad things are after he's got the mask and, you know, the Darth Vader suit on, and he becomes what we have always known as Darth Vader. Yeah, those movies were okay. You know, other people will say they were great, and I know some people that'll say they should not have ever been made, period, or at least that bad. So, Rogue One, let's talk about that. Well, that's the thing. I don't have anything to say about it other than I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Biggest reason why is because I saw a few articles, one in particular out there that just raved. Well, it had critics raving about how strong the story was, and it was even described as probably the first Star Wars movie that you might not want to take the kiddos to. So that's got me really intrigued. To add to that, of course, a lot of other critics said it was very well done, and that's what I liked about. I think that's what I'm liking about these new Star Wars versions. The last one, a new, no, oh my God, it's too late. The last one, The Force Awakens, I liked it. Look, I know it was cookie cutter, and let's acknowledge the obvious at first. Yes, there was another scene of a father and a son, and they're out on a bridge, and something happens. That was obviously derived from The Empire Strikes Back. You obviously had a Death Star blowing up, Death Star type of machine. Same thing again. So yes, the Episode 4 was a colossal template for Episode 7. That said, I still kind of liked it, and the thing I liked about it most was not so much the story in that case, because it was more of a template. It didn't take too many risks. The thing that I like more about Episode 7, and then hopefully from what I'm hearing, I will like this aspect of Rogue One, is how it's handled, how it's done. And let me give you a point in case. Wow, I really can't talk worth a shit right now. Oh my God. So anyway, case in point. Batman, you know, you had Adam West in the 1960s or the 70s, I believe. You know, Batman is a character that has had so many different life forms and has been given life by so many different people that it gives it a different feel, whether it's Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, of course. But then comes along, again, you guys have probably heard me talk about him before, Christopher Nolan, one of my favorite directors. Along comes the Dark Knight series, directed by Christopher Nolan. He handled those brilliantly and beautifully, and he gave them a new type of a feel. He gave them a new type of atmosphere, if you will, a new life, because he handled them differently. I believe the way, or at least the way I like to describe it to my friends, is that he gave those films a new sophistication. And I feel that that is what's going on with Star Wars. They're being treated and, well, let me rephrase that. They're being handled differently, to where they are being given a seriousness and a sophistication for us adults to really dive into and enjoy with regards to how the story's handled. So again, like I said, Episode 7, not a major fan of that story. I did like it overall, but because of the template aspect, not a major fan of the story. But I like the way it was done. I like the way it was handled with the seriousness that kind of was refreshing to see with regards to how it was presented on screen ultimately. Again, for other people, it's the visuals. Obviously, the visuals will always be a big part of Star Wars, especially the lightsabers. You know, the colossal fight scenes. I mean, you can't beat those. It's really hard. So visuals, obvious. Actors, love them. You know, I haven't. I guess you really have to suck in order for me able to say I did not like this actor playing this role or that role. But that's what I really can say overall about Star Wars, and you know, Star Wars as a whole. What do you like about Star Wars? Is it the story? Is it what aspects of the story? The hero's journey, the multi layers and multi reaching tentacles coming off the main story, as is the case with Rogue One. From what I understand, it is an extension of the story. Well, it is the story of how the plans got to Princess Leia's into Princess Leia's possession at the beginning of Episode 4, A New Hope. Is it again the Force, the theological aspect? What do you love about the Star Wars movies? What is it that makes Star Wars work for you? I'm not into a lot of science fiction or action films these days. Star Wars, I'll always be a fan of those. What do you dislike about Star Wars? Do you not even like the new ones? What do you like about Star Wars? What do you not like about Star Wars? Leave us a comment below. I definitely love to hear whatever you have to say. Just that, you guys. Thank you very much. As always, feel free to help yourselves to our many short films, as well as more behind the scenes dialogue about film reviews, filmmaking tips, and inspirational videos. Again, you don't have to be a filmmaker. It's just inspiration for everyone through the lens of a filmmaker. So yeah, go ahead and check out our other content. Please, we'd be honored. And also don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. If you're about Facebook, I'll put that in the description. That way you can join our private group. And if you're on Twitter, I will also put my Twitter handle below. You guys, thanks a lot. I love you. And yes, I'm going to check out the new Star Wars film. I hope you check it out this weekend as well. I will post my thoughts and feelings afterwards. Please do not spoil the freaking movie for me. I will delete those comments. So anyway, you guys, I will watch the Star Wars movie. We'll talk about that later on, just my thoughts, feelings. Your thoughts and your feelings, I want to hear what you guys have to say about it as well. I'll talk to you guys later, and stay safe, and happy holidays coming up as we get closer and closer to the holidays. Stop the camera. Bye.